Trying to feed that big wire, so I fed it through this way and it got stuck on that lip, so I put some tape over it and jammed it in there, and now I'm bleeding. Anyway, trying to get the big wire in. We're going to try to get it in the lugs. Honestly, I don't know if it goes I don't know if the service wire comes in the top and out over the top, or if the service wire comes in the bottom, out the top, over to the top. We're going to figure that out real quick. So we're going to try to put in this big wire today. We figured out it comes out of the bottom, over to the breaker panel and into the top. The service wire, it'll come into the top of the meter base. So I found out that these lugs will come all the way out of the little holder, which is going to be good for us, because I was wondering how I could tuck that up under there, and the answer is probably you can't. At least I can't, not with that much space. So we're going to cut these off with some bolt cutters, and then we're going to put some antioxidant compound around the metal before it connects to that. That will keep it from oxidizing, and we will eventually torque these down to whatever the spec is, which I don't know, I have to look up. But for now, we're just going to tighten them down with a Allen wrench. So I'm going to do these one at a time. I'll mark where I need to cut, and I'll cut that right there with the wire cutters, or the bolt cutters, but I'll strip it back right here with my knife. So let me cut that first, and then we can strip it back. Don't cut it too short, y'all, like I just almost did. Okay, so that should lay right up in there after we strip the black away. There's probably a better way to strip this, like if you use a sharp razor knife, maybe. But we're just going to try to cut through it, and I highly doubt my knife's going to cut any of these lines. And I can't freaking see. I'm blind as a bat. I'm not that blind, but I'm getting there. You probably could cut it long ways. I'm sure there's probably a tool for this that I don't own. So we're just going to whittle at it until it's done. Go ahead and cut that off.
I know how to do that.
So we got our antioxidant compound. You have to put a hole in it. I thought it was coming out, but I guess not. Man, how deep is that plastic?
Why don't you use one of those pieces of wire?
I was going to, but it won't poke a hole in it. Alright, so I don't really know how much to put on it, so we're just gonna damn, this stuff's thick or something. We're just gonna kind of coat it. Well, first we're gonna make a bigger hole, because that stuff's barely coming out of there. super thick. I guess it's super thick, or the hole was not all the way through. Oh, it feels gummy now. Alright, so we're just going to coat this down all the way around. Get it like that. And I think you only have to use this when you have like 2 different types of metal, maybe? I'm not sure. If y'all know, comment below. That's like really good. Now
you didn't get some on that bottom part.
That's pretty good. So now I just need somewhere to wipe my finger on this block of wood. This stuff's almost gummy. I thought it was way more liquidy. So then I'll push that one in. Slide this. I don't know if these have a certain way to go. Maybe the other way, because the tops are opposite of this one. So that wire's thick. I mean, that wire's really stiff. And that's as far in as that'll go. So now we'll tighten it down. But like I said, this has to be torqued. So we will figure out what the torque on it is, and we will come back and we will get it torqued to the spec. This is just for today to get it in there to hold it. All right, so that's one. Oh, we can go ahead and, well, shoot. We're going to cut a little more off the top and probably need some pliers to twist this back together. Maybe. No, it'll go. It'll go, it'll go. But I'm going to trial fit it before I coat it down with that junk. That stuff's super thick. Yeah.
You want the you want me to hold the wire in there while you push the thing in there?
I got it now. All right, so we're on the 3rd wire here, and we got it coated down with that nasty stuff. I'm gonna slip it back in that hole and put this thing back in there. I'm gonna slide it all the way up. It's got like little feet right there that won't let it go, but so far. So that's where we put it to. That's in. We'll tighten this down. Like I say, we'll come back and torque it after all is said and done. Well, I have to find a socket to fit my torque wrench, and then we'll get that torqued up in there. And so that's that. That's the breaker panel. Not the breaker panel. That is the meter base, and we'll put this cover back over it. But first, board on it. And then put the cover back on it. And now we'll do this one. So the power's going to come out into this one. And I guess I'm going to, I don't know. Maybe I'll split the wires and come up and down like that. But we should have enough. We got, what is this, 12 feet?
Mm-hmm.
So you see, we'll have enough to go. I just have to strip this casing with my knife. And that's how we'll do it. We're cutting the outer casing off this big 4/0 wire. Just being super careful to cut only the casing and not into the 2 wires inside. So we're just going really slow, taking our time. Even there's been some places I have to go back and cut, like right here, cut twice. I'm kind of using my finger to set the depth. And it's working. Just go slow, take your time. Peel it as you go. The razor knife is a whole lot better than the pocket knife. My pocket knife was super dull compared to the razor. So just work it around. If this is wrong, I'll be really sad. Anyway, we're going to start up here on the top. We're not electricians, and we don't even play them on YouTube. No official training. Actually, no training. We just watch some videos, read some books, and go for it. Had a guy scheduled to come up here and do this, and he told me how much he would charge me. I said it was great. Guy never showed up. So here we are, DIY. Alright, so that's the outer casing. It will take all this fiberglass paper stuff, whatever you want to call it. I have no clue. This looks like fiberglass. Cut that away, peel it off, and there's your wire. So we'll separate the 3. There's 3 wires there. We'll separate those. Run one up the right, one up the one or two up the right, one or two up the left. I don't know. This one here was probably take 2 up the right, 1 up the left, just because my logic is there's more wires over here versus the other side. I wanted to come in the top. I wanted to take this whole U and just put it up there. But I guess really it would have been a pain in the butt to get up there and it could have came down, but I wasn't sure if we could do that, so I chose not to do that. I really don't want to do things more than once if I don't have to. Alright, now I think this is the fun part. I'm not really sure like how this stuff here goes, but we got to get the 2 main wires out. I guess we just sit here and unravel it, and then we'll try to ravel these silver lines, try to ravel them back together and make one solid line. But I have a feeling, man, this looks like it's going to really become a mess. So we're going to try to keep it as neat as possible, which is proving to be hard right now. Oh, it's like falling out.
Whoops. My finger was in front of the thing.
The whole time?
No.
No. That'd be the first time I did it. Alright, hey, maybe we'll just do it like that. Oh, y'all, I think this might have been the way to do it. Maybe we screwed it up. This looks way more convenient. Holy cow. Oh my God, look at this. Now, we gotta figure out, here we go. Okay, it's not so bad, not so bad. I really wish everybody that was watching right now and getting ready to comment on the better way to do this could have just let me pay you to do this. But that wasn't an option, so here we are. All right. I really hope this will twist together. It's not looking real great right now. I don't know if we should start, on what side should we start twisting this? Jesus, it's stuff's like thick as you know what. Yeah, it's almost like you need to spin around, like hold it and do some spins with
Don't
it.
put my eye out.
Don't get in front of me. Is that how you do it? Is there like some sort of electrician dance or something that I don't know about? Like do like yeah. This looks crappy. I'm over here spinning, but y'all can't see what I'm doing because the camera is in La La Land. I'm freaking dizzy. gonna come right down in that one. I want to take this lug out because I don't know if I can slide. Oh crap. It's the wrong size.
It's too small?
Yeah, too small. So we're gonna have to figure out what size we need and come back on another day to finish this. But come here, let me show you. This is the theory. It's gonna come out of here. It's gonna wrap around this. It's gonna tuck in the corners and come into here. And then the neutral, and then the other one will go into here.
Wouldn't it be easier to put this side and this side and this side and this side? That way you don't have to bend the wire so much.
It would be easier.
Because if you bend it so hard, won't it get hot?
I don't think it's going to bend that hard, but it would definitely be easier to come here. But see, what I don't know is, like, on the right side of this, does the right side have to go into the right side? Left side have to go on the left side?
How do you know which one of those wires is left and right?
Probably that. Maybe. I don't know. That's another one, y'all. If y'all know this stuff, like, definitely, like, let us know, because the inspector's coming, and maybe he will not be happy with us. All right. Okay, y'all, this is our breaker box and our meter base. So here's what we got done. So the theory is the power is going to come up into here. We have one of these sliding tubes. I seen somewhere it said we had to have this sliding tube, okay, in case the, what is it, the conduit in the ground settles or something, it doesn't pull your meter off the house. My question is, why won't the wires, you know, pull it off? But anyway, it's probably lobbying. This piece right here, 30 bucks for that. Okay. Anyway, so the service wire will come in here to come around, connecting to the top of the meter base, run through the meter, hit these lines here, and run through up. I've got them split, going up and into the top of the panel. We have our 200 amp breaker right here. This is a 200 amp meter. And then next we will take all our home runs, wire them into the panel. We don't know how to do that yet. We'll figure that part out too. We need to run a ground wire down to the ground and put in some rods, 2 of them at 6 feet apart. And so I don't know, do I put the ground wire here or do I put the ground wire here? I don't know, but we will find out. I see a screw right here where one can fit, and I see a screw right there where one can fit. So we'll look it up. Train's gonna blow its horn. So that's it for today, and we're out of here, y'all. All right, we're gonna tighten down the lugs on the meter box. It tells right up in here how much to tighten. It says a hex head is 250 inch-pounds, so that translates to about 21 foot-pounds. So we have a breaker bar, or not a breaker bar, excuse me, torque bar, hex head. We're going to tighten this down till we reach torque. It'll break, it'll make a click like that. So that is 20, almost 21 foot-pounds. And then we're going to come torque the lugs on the panel as well. This one here, we still need to put some of that ox guard, they call it ox guard, slather that bare wire in there down really good with this, stick it back in the hole and put that in, torque down this one, and this one. The bonding screw, it's torqued at, I think it said 35 inch-pounds, but it'll tell you on the little piece of paper that comes on it. And we have a torquing screwdriver for this and a torquing screwdriver for everything else in the box, including the breakers, outlets in the house and all that. Everything's going to get torqued. So I've only got two hands today, no tripod. So let me get this done. So I pulled the wire out of the panel here, and we're going to put this ox guard. This stuff's like super thick and it's a little cold today. So it's probably going to be, yes, it's real thick. But anyway, we're going to go around this and coat it down real good, and then I'll rub it on, put it on the bottom, everywhere. But you know, I'm really not 100% certain if we need this, because this is aluminum wire going into aluminum lugs. These are aluminum screws and everything. So I don't know if we need this, because it's, I believe it's only for ferrous metals like steel and stuff. Or maybe if you have two different opposing metals, like you have steel and copper, steel and aluminum, but definitely where there's two opposing metals or steel. So I don't really know if aluminum needs it, but I guess it can't hurt. Maybe aluminum can oxidize, I'm sure. So I'm having a hard time videoing. Now I'm gonna have to get on the backside, but y'all get the idea. So I'm gonna cover it real good, stick it down in there, put the screw back in, and torque everything. So now we're gonna run the service ground wire. What we're gonna do is knock out one of these little holes in the back. We'll run it from the bottom up, since it's 15 feet long. It's 15 feet long. Ours is. I think they come in 15 and 25, something like that. And so we're going to run it from the bottom up, over, down into the grounding screw right there. And that's 15 inch-pound torque. So, what I say, 15? It's 50 inch-pound torque. So I have this torquing screwdriver. We'll set this on 50 inch-pound. Once we get it run through there and torque it down. And then, you know, it's going to be, this one's really tight, but this wire is like $50 for if you need some more. This one was 20 something, 25. So it's going to come down through the little hole. It's going to come straight down into an 8-foot grounding rod right here. I'm going to put it in the ground. And then it has to be a minimum of 6 feet. You can go more, but it has to be a minimum of 6 feet to your next grounding rod. This wire cannot be spliced. So if you do the math, it's going to be really tight, but we should get 7 feet apart on our grounding rods. So when you mount your your panel, yeah, you should probably know where that's at, and then you can measure. You know, you don't want to run too much and have, you know, a whole bunch of this left over. This panel here can also be mounted upside down, which would help shorten that up quite a bit. So it could be mounted either way, and I kind of wish I would have done it upside down, because this big wire coming in could have just plugged straight into those lugs instead of coming up and around. This stuff is $7 a foot, so that would have been a little bit of a savings. So keep that in mind when you are running things in your build. All right, let's get this copper in, and we'll get these two ground rods stuck in. We're going to slam them down with a T-post fence slammer, and hopefully we get them. Another thing to mention on this copper, this is a 200 amp box, and the way I read the code is you have to have number 4 copper if you have a 200 amp. So if it's less than 200 amp, you can go with the smaller copper. If I'm wrong about that, someone comment below, and please post the code number so I can read it, because a lot of people have opinions, but I would really like to know the facts. So please, if you comment about that, post the code number to show me the difference. Thanks for that. All right, let's run this stuff. Okay, here we are, y'all. So we got the copper 4 gauge coming out down and to the bottom, and it's going to go straight down into a rod, straight over it, 6 feet or more, no splicing, and it's going to be tight because this is 15 foot, but we have enough. There was something else I was gonna say. Oh yeah, the green bonding screw, when you're putting that in, you have to press, like I thought something was wrong. You have to press it really hard because it's a self-tapping screw. You have to press it really hard to go into the back to get it to start feeding through. So there we are. Now, the rest of the day, I'm gonna bring the wires out of these holes from inside. I'm gonna bring them out. They were already out, so I could nail that board up, but I put it back in because it was gonna rain. Today, I'm gonna bring them out and I'm gonna curl them up in here. And that way they'll be in the box and I can shut the door. And then when the inspector comes, he can view the inside work of the house and the inside here of the box. And I don't know if you're supposed to hook them up or not. I heard 2 ways, so we're going to leave them undone and then come back and hook them up later. So there's your meter and your breaker panel install. Now, after we have inspection, we'll see how we did. All right, let's go run these wires out the hole. Putting in the ground today. 25 foot number 4 right here, running down to the first ground. It's an 8 foot rod right here, galvanized. I think they're copper, galvanized coated, I think. Running across to this one, and they are a beast to get down 8 feet. We start with the T-post slammer, finish up with the sledgehammer, and then we put the little clips, whatever you call the little clamps, tighten them down, and there cannot be a splice in the copper coming out of the box all the way down and across. There can't be a splice. So probably if you could, you can mount your box upside down, have less of a run, and use the 15 foot, $25. We tried to use the 15 foot and it was too short by 1 foot, so we had to go back and buy the 25 foot, and it was $49. And I'm out of breath because we are slamming that rod 8 feet below. And go below the finished surface. I can't see my phone. Go below the finished surface so that you can bury everything after the inspector checks it out. Let's kill that.
In the heart of green, where the sun meets the sky, Finkapulco Farm, where dreams learn to fly. Tiny house standing strong, built with love, a sustainable haven, blessed from above. Underneath the canopy of stars, they carved a life from dreams and memoirs. Dakota tends to the fence, fallen by his side. Together they navigate this boundless countryside. Finkapulco sunrise, a canvas of gold, a tale of a family, their story to be told. Keith and Linda, hand in hand, on Finkapulco Farm, where roots firmly stand.